Thank you so very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to my council colleagues and everyone joining us. I understand that state law currently requires that the following announcement be made at the beginning of every remote public hearing. This is the Committee on Appropriations meeting today, Monday, April 12th, to consider an appropriations to the new normal budget of City Council. Due to the current public health emergency, City Council committees are currently meeting remotely. We are using the Microsoft Teams to make these remote hearings possible. Instructions for how the public may view and offer public testimony and public hearings of council committees are included in the public hearings notice that are published in the Daily News, Inquirer, and Legal Intelligencer prior to the hearings, and can also be found on phillycouncil.com. I note that the hour has come and we will begin our council committee. Eric, will you please call the roll to ensure attendance? Members that are in attendance will please indicate that you are present when your name is called. Also, please say a few words when responding so that your image could be displayed on screen when you speak. Eric?
Councilmember Quinones Sanchez.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson. Councilmember Thomas.
Present.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Present.
Councilmember Heenan.
I am present, Madam Chair, and thank you.
Councilmember O.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I am present.
And Councilmember Dom.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I am present.
Thank you. A quorum of the committee is present, and this hearing will now be called to order. I want to thank my council colleagues again for joining us this afternoon. This is the public hearing of the Committee on Appropriations regarding Bill number 210226. Eric, could you please read the title of the bill?
Bill number 210226, authorizing transfers and appropriations for fiscal year 2021 from the general fund, the council, to the general fund, certain or all city offices, departments, boards, and commissions for the purpose of further implementing council's new normal jobs initiative and adjusting council's internal appropriations.
Thank you. Before we begin to hear testimony from the witnesses we have for today, everyone who's been invited to the meeting to testify should be aware that this is a public hearing and which is being recorded. Because the hearing is public, participants and viewers have no reasonable expectation of privacy. By continuing to be in the meeting, you're consenting to be recorded. Additionally, prior to recognizing members for questions or comments they have for the witnesses, I will note for the record at this time that we will use the chat feature available in Microsoft Teams to allow members to signify that they wish to be recognized in order to comply with the Sunshine Act. The chat feature must only be used for this purpose. Before we call our first panel, are there any comments from council members? I know that the new normal jobs program with this budget has been a compilation of many conversations with council and council priorities in this recovery and in response to some of the challenges in the city. So we only have today, as a registered panel, we have one person. Eric, would you please call the first panel to testify this afternoon on bill number 210226?
Charmaine Matlock Turner.
Before Charmaine gets started to testify, I just want to thank her and all of the work of the Urban Affairs Coalition. I know if those of you who know Charmaine during this time of year, she is always talking jobs, 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 young people, jobs, 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 and that's what she will do this afternoon. I want to signify for the record that Councilman Johnson did join us. Councilmember Johnson, thank you very much. Charmaine, would you state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony?
Certainly. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Quinones Sanchez. My name is Charmaine Matlock Turner. I am the president and CEO of the Urban Affairs Coalition.
Proceed with your testimony.
Thank you very much. Thank you all and for being here today. To Council Member Quinones Sanchez for chairing this wonderful effort and all of the hard work that went into making sure that Philadelphia's teens and workers had additional opportunities. I really appreciate that and the hard work of the Appropriations Committee, as well as all the other members of council who are here with us today. As I said, my name is Charmaine Matlock-Turner. I'm the president and CEO of the Urban Affairs Coalition, and I thank you for the opportunity to comment on council's ordinance to transfer appropriations for fiscal year 21 for the purpose of further implementing council's new normal jobs initiative. UAC has been a trusted community partner for 50 years. More than 80 area nonprofits and social entrepreneurs are a part of the UAC family of programs. We work every day to end homelessness, find paths and bridges to self-sufficiency, support quality education, help youth plan their futures, and so much more. We believe in a multifaceted approach to achieving self-sufficiency, and we have over the years seen friends, family, and neighbors succeed and move on to productive and fulfilling lives. Summer youth employment, one of the closest loves to my heart. The Urban Affairs Coalition has led the initiative to provide summer employment for youth for more than 50 years. From Fill a Job, which I know many of you know about, to today's Work Ready. In partnership with the Philadelphia Youth Network and Philadelphia Works, UAC formed the Summer Youth Employment Cabinet 5 years ago to drive ongoing fundraising support with government, the private sector, and citizens through our committees. Employment opportunities for young Philadelphians ages 12 to 24 are not only critical to the strength of Philadelphia's workforce, but also are critical to the next generation of Philadelphians as they develop career awareness, learn on-the-job skills, and hone their leadership skills. Philadelphia was the first, and I want to say this proudly, was the first city in the nation to pivot during the pandemic last summer to support our teens. The citywide program provided 6,000 young people with a summer employment alternate experience, from virtual to safely distanced in-person experiences. The Summer Youth Employment Program had 300 employers citywide who hosted youth participants. And I am proud to say that 120 of those 300 employers were employer partners of the Urban Affairs Coalition. And a majority of the employer partners were small businesses and nonprofits. For the summer of 2021, the Summer Youth Employment Program will employ, with your help and support and ongoing advocacy, 8,000 12 to 24-year-olds through the citywide youth employment system. The Summer Youth Employment Program will continue this summer because of the year-round work of the cabinet and because of the tremendous work and leadership coming from you, City Council. Thank you so much. We're close to our goal. We're not there yet, but with your commitment of $1.875 million for this program, we are very, very close to getting to our goal of 8,000 young people working this summer. This day is also very special for this hearing, Councilwoman Keona Sanchez. Today kicks off Summer Jobs Week. From April 12th to April 16th, we will be sending out a lot of special messages to the community about the importance of this program. And so this hearing date was just absolutely perfect. We will share information with council members so that you can share it with your constituents to, again, get the entire city of Philadelphia excited about summer youth employment. So thank you to all of you with the leadership of with Councilwoman Keona Sanchez for the $1.875 million transfer that will provide the support for teens for this summer. I also want to thank Councilwoman Keona Sanchez and Councilman Green and Johnson for your work in making.
Mermasine's sick. Apparently, he's probably on.
Councilman O'Neill, you need to go on mute. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. have been working with us to seek additional funds from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to make sure we reach our goal. And the city has definitely put down a strong marker to say to the Commonwealth, let's close the gap. So thank you so very, very much. The other thing I just want to touch on that is included in the ordinance is the work that we're doing to make sure that every Philadelphian who is ready, willing, and able and looking and wants to get connected to work, a real opportunity to do that. Hire Philly, a partner of the Urban Affairs Coalition, was created to act uniquely as a conduit between employers, education, and training resources and workforce development organizations to get Philadelphians connected to work. And we know how important that is at this time. Through the Pipeline Philly platform, which will be available on your phone, on your computer, we are going to make sure that jobs that are available in Philadelphia are easily accessible to those in communities who are looking for work. So Pipeline Philly will also be enforcing and clearly articulating the standards of diversity, equity, and inclusion in its platform to make sure that we are opening these opportunities to everyone in our city. So thank you for your support of this initiative at the $50,000 level. We expect that we will begin the first part of this work in the late spring. So just in closing, in these unprecedented times, we look forward to continuing to work with you and just appreciate the fact that you consistently hear the voices and concerns of the community. We know that we can get Philadelphians back to work. We know that Philadelphians want to work, and we know that Philadelphians can make a tremendous contribution, whether they are teens or whether or not they are seniors. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I am glad to work with you and open to answering any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Charmaine. Jobs, 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 and more jobs. We need to get jobs. We need to get young people jobs. We need to get everybody jobs, their parents jobs. So thank you so very much. I'm going to open it up to questions from my colleagues. I want to recognize Council Member Dom.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Charmaine.
Good afternoon, Councilman.
Just a question for you. The types of jobs that you're looking for, give me an idea of the type of jobs that you'd like to see our young people participate in.
We really want a range of experiences for our young people. For many of the younger ones who are just getting started in the workforce, working in nonprofits, including working for the City of Philadelphia and Department of Recreation and other spaces, gives them an opportunity to begin to sort of understand what the world of work looks like. As they gain experience, we really are looking for private sector experiences for them to get connected to. And so whether it's something in technology, energy, education, it could be a range of experiences. The beauty of the program is that we get a chance to talk to young people and find out what their interests are. And the same thing is true with employers. Before the pandemic, we were actually able to put together a job fair with our summer teens, and they and their parents were actually able to talk to employers where they were able to share information and experience. So we think that every employer offers something special and unique, and we can help them design an experience that will make a high schooler successful.
I'm just thinking out loud to myself that due to the pandemic, and this is one area where having offices opened and having the mentorship of young people with people in offices would really be helpful. Is there anything we can do to help you to make sure we have enough opportunities of jobs because of what's going on, in our city right now with the pandemic?
Yes, absolutely. We have reached out to employers and the chamber as well. I did a outreach virtually a couple of weeks ago with chamber members, encouraging them to hire young people. And whether it's virtual or whether it's in person, both of those experiences are important for young people. So yes, any names, any companies that you know of, we'll be very glad to reach out to them and help them join the Jobs, Summer Jobs program.
Okay, Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Councilman Kenyatta Johnson. I was a participant in the summer employment program many moons ago when I thought I was going to be an accountant, and that experience led me not to be an accountant, but I still deal with numbers. So it's important. Councilmember Johnson, and then Councilmember Heenan. KJ, you have your hands up.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to commend Charmaine for all her hard work and dedication, really, when it comes down to advocating for our most precious resource here in the city of Philadelphia, and that's our young people. And so I just commend you for stepping up to the plate on the front line. I will be publicly advocating for as much funding as we can provide to you as relates to this upcoming budget process. We know that we're going to receive a significant amount of COVID-19 funding from our federal government. And for me, if supporting our young people, investing in our young people in terms of a school-to-career pipeline and the work that you are doing isn't part of that conversation, then I would think that would be totally unacceptable, because at the end of the day, when we talk about those who have suffered most during the pandemic, it's young people and families who live in poor neighborhoods across the city of Philadelphia. It's just that simple. And so thank you for your hard work and your dedication. I'll be advocating and making sure that in this upcoming budget process that, and I'm sure the rest of my colleagues will as well, but I just want to state it for the record that when we talk about the significant amount of funding that will be flowing to the city of Philadelphia, this is a part of our strategy of investing in our young people who will ultimately be the individuals who run the city. And so that's how we have to look at it. We should never be in a position where, 5,000 young people apply for some jobs and only 2,000 get them. No, not at all, especially when we're very supportive of the business community in a variety of different ways. And so this year should be the year that we do a reset and make sure we're supporting our young people. And so just want to thank you for your hard work and your dedication.
Thank you so much, Councilman Johnson, and thank you for your leadership and support. I remember speaking in South Philadelphia, it seemed like just a couple months ago, I know it was before the pandemic, about the importance of summer jobs. You've always been a great advocate, as well as talking to you just a couple of weeks ago as well. I will certainly say that we are absolutely resetting the clock this year. As the Summer Employment Cabinet, we agreed that we could increase the number from last year from 6,000 to 8,000 this year. But our real goal is to get to full employment. Even last year, Councilman, 20,000 young people in the middle of the pandemic applied or showed interest in jobs. We know that they want to work and they want to get connected and they want to build careers. So next summer, we are really counting on your leadership and the leadership of the city to say, we want every teen who wants a job to have one. And that's between 16 and 18,000 young people with a price tag of $30 million. We think it's a wonderful and valuable contribution to make to the next generation of Philadelphians.
I second that. My first summer job was with Anti-Graffiti Network, and so got my working papers from Broad and Lehigh.
That's great.
I'm on board. And again, when you look at the crisis that our city is in right now, when you talk about the issue of gun violence, right? I'd be remiss if I didn't just talk about how we're the #1 big city when it comes to poverty. We're second behind Chicago when it comes to gun violence. And we know where there's high areas of poverty, we see high levels of gun violence. So at some point in time, we got to do something different, which is invest on the front end, so we don't have to address the ills that we're addressing now on the back end. And so, but I'll do more than just talk about it. We will be advocating and fighting for our youth as we move through this budget process. So thank you, Charmaine. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Johnson. We got to call our state delegation folks, man. They got to put up a little bit more money. So
yes, thank you.
Jordan Harris and others, we got to challenge them. Now we got a number. They got to come meet us. Council Member Heenan, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is that instead of the ice bucket channel, the show us the money challenge?
There you go.
that we could tell them?
I even offer to have you give them a dance lesson if they give them
Hey, whatever it takes, because a comment to Charmaine. I mean, I think we are finally in a place where the investment, right, that you were just talking about, and managing it and helping forge careers, for people at all sectors, right, is just quite amazing. So amazing work. Your written testimony is amazing. So I just want to state that for the record. I have a technical question for the chair, if I may, and maybe it's my me being a little naive, but when we're appropriate, and I just want to clarify for the record here, is the $7.5 million to the council, is that to our council and going to initiatives of the new normal appropriation, which I full-heartedly support? And are we responsible for managing all that? And how come we didn't go direct to the departments?
No, it is. All the money goes directly to the departments. If you see and I think we sent out the amendment that shows. So we had set the money aside that was in our budget. So we're reallocating it to the department so it goes directly to the program. So as Charmaine said, the 1.8 is going to the Summer Employment Cabinet, DHS. There's money going to mural arts. There's managing director. So it's going to the departments where it will go directly to the program. We do not do any management of any of this money. We work with our great partners to do so. So, Councilmember, do you have the amendment that it shows you where it's going?
I appreciate the clarity, and
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for our witness? Seeing none, we're gonna Charmaine, thank you very much. You can disconnect now. We will. If there are no. Go ahead. I'm not hearing you. I think he got disconnected.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Councilwoman Kiona Sanchez, and to all members of council. Again, this kicks off Summer Employment Week, so please talk about it, share information. Please pat yourself on the back, and then start calling Harrisburg and telling them to put up the rest of the money so that 8,000 Philadelphia kids will be going to school with the idea that they're going to get a diploma in Philadelphia, but they're also going to have a dream for their future. So thank you all very much for your help and support.
Thank you again. So you could disconnect. Our apologies, Councilmember Heenan is having a little bit of tech problems. Are you back on, Councilman? You're okay? All right, we'll move on. So is there anyone else here to testify on this bill? Seeing none, this will conclude our hearing, and we will now go to our public meeting. There being no questions or other witnesses to consider, I now invite all panel and witness to please disconnect from the meeting as we move to our public meeting. So we will now convene for the public meeting. Eric, for the purposes of roll call, please call the members and have them say present so that we can proceed with the action before this committee this afternoon.
Councilmember Quinones Sanchez.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Thomas.
Present.
Councilmember O'Neill.
It's just on. Go ahead.
Councilmember Heenan.
I am present. I apologize. My signal was lost and I dropped off in the middle of our conversation a few minutes ago. So I am present.
Thank you.
Councilmember O.
Present.
Councilmember Dom.
Present.
Thank you. So the chair recognizes Councilmember Johnson. Are you ready to do the amendment, or I know we gave this to Councilman Dom?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
You're ready to rock and roll. So the chair recognizes
I'm ready.
Councilmember Johnson for a motion on the amendment to bill number 210226.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to bill number 210226. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to bill number 210226 be approved.
Second. Point of order, Councilman O'Neill present.
Thank you, Councilmember O'Neill. The record will reflect that Councilmember O'Neill rejoined us. Having heard a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it's been moved and properly second, and bill number 210120 amendment has been approved. The chair recognizes Councilmember Johnson for a motion on bill 210226 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that bill number 210226 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. The bill has been moved and properly second. That bill number 210226 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at our next council session. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. This concludes the business before the Committee on Appropriations today. I want to thank my council colleagues very much for joining us this afternoon, and we'll continue the work ahead. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Madam Chair.